Hello and welcome to our Strategic Compass program, which we do for the Harici portal, which focuses on foreign news and analysis. Today, we are going to basically look at what's happening in Georgia, particularly with regard to the latest election results. The opposition parties, together with the president, not acknowledging defeat and their protests across Georgia, although this time round their protest seems to have fizzled out. Their protest doesn't seem to be as strong as it used to be. Now we are going to basically talk about all that. How did it start? Where are the sources of tension in Georgia? And how all this can actually be read within the general picture of geopolitics of the region, whether Georgia was asked by the West to open a second front against Russia in the last few years or so, and is this the source of the conflict within the political parties within Georgia? And we are all going to talk about my host. Thank you for joining us, Professor Temur Maisuradze from Georgian Technical University. He's an expert on Georgian politics, and he's with us to basically comment on what's happening lately in Georgia. Professor Maisuradze, thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you very much. I'm glad to see you in this portal, and I'm ready to answer all your questions.
Well, I've got, let's go question by question, and occasionally I may also intervene with few comments here and there, but of course you are going to be doing much of the talking. Now, let's start with the latest. Now, Georgia had the general elections on Sunday, and the ruling party, Georgian Dream, seem to have succeeded in gaining the majority of the votes with about 53 to 54% of the overall votes. But this was challenged, I think, by the president, who used to be the French ambassador to Georgia, funnily enough, and she became the Georgian president later. And together with her, of course, there are the opposition parties who are also challenging the results, claiming that the Georgian elections was basically stolen. It was rigged altogether. Now, what is your sense, first of all, of the elections? And the second, what is the latest situation? This time round, there doesn't appear to be so big protests in Georgia. These pro-European Union movements used to gather more crowds in the past, but this time it seems as if they are not able to bring to the streets as many people as they used to. What is your feelings and what is your analysis on that?
If start from beginning, in 2020, when was changed all the national movement, which was always in majority of Parliament of Georgia, in 2012 we changed them, and I was also one of the members of Parliament at the time. And West wanted in 2016 turn them back. They had like this plan. So rating of this national movement slowly was going down. And in 2016, they could not do it. And if you will compare last election in 2020 and today, we can see that all opposition at that time got 45% of total votes. But now they got all together. Once again, I'm especially talking about this. All together got 35%, so 10% less than in 2020. Georgian Dream got around 54%, but altogether they got 89 seats in new parliament. So they got 3.7 times more seats than any of these opposition parties. So that is why we see the picture, what wants to Georgians, but West is pushing, as it was many years like this in beginning 1990, from that time. But it's slow, more pushing, more. And that time when I was member of parliament, they was pushing us also, but only on working places, only inside. Nobody had to know about this. The United States and Europe don't want to lose Georgia. It's very important for them. And here we see project of BRICS. Georgia has his place, historical geography place in this project, which is unacceptable for West. That is why we see this picture, what we have here now. And all the management of European Parliament and United States against us, pushing us to, to change situation in Georgia back, because of they want to see in membership of Georgia President of Saakashvili, which was before, So that is why we have, yes, difficulties, but I can say they don't have enough power to change here something. So majority of Georgians, they like sovereignty of Georgia. We don't want some European Union or something like this. And Turkey also is one of the candidates, maybe SETI or something like this here. But here is some differences between us and between you. They don't want Turkey to be a member of European Union because of Turkey's strong government, and they can push under Turkey many weak countries of European Union. But Georgian situation is absolutely another one, because we are first, we don't have a border with the European Union. First, it's very difficult situation to understand how we can to be members of European Union. And second is that we are weak country, and they can push on us because of our economy is not so strong. But if we will stay in our place, if we will be member of 3+3, if we will be member of BRICS, here will be absolutely different situation. After that, we can be, of course, we can be more sovereignty, and I think everyone understanding in Georgia which way is much more better. And also, we don't like this LGBT laws to be in Georgia, because of it's unacceptable for us. Georgia's mentality, our culture is absolutely different. We are one of the oldest countries in the world, and we have this endemic nation on Caucasus. That is why for us is some things which we never will accept. But they are pushing exactly this one. So we have to go this law. We have to take back a law of transparency and accept all things which is LGBT life to accept in Georgia. That is why people changing their minds, and if 25, maybe 30 years ago, population thought in other way, they was looking Europe like some of best countries, which is they are all old and own history and so on. But in these 30 years, everything was so changed. And after Ukraine, we saw many difficulties to be members of European Union or NATO. It's also unacceptable, and we know we never will be member of NATO. That is why we have to think in this situation, in situation of this geopolitical situation, where we can stay and which way will be right. That is why we give our votes to Georgian Dream.
Okay, thank you very much. Let's move from what I understand from your points, that the situation in Georgia is calm right now. So there doesn't appear to be any trouble. People are not protesting in the streets, the election results, although the Western countries are making statements after statements and threatening the Georgian government and the Georgian nation, saying, you have to basically either organize a new elections, or you have to accept this is a rigged election, or what have you. But despite all, the Georgian people seem calm, and they don't take to the streets, and there doesn't appear to be any major protest anywhere in Georgia. Is that what it is?
No, they are protesting, as we see, and on Monday they are planning once again to start once again a new protest wave. We see. Let's see what will be in Monday.
But it seems that the protesters, for instance, as they protested on Monday, they couldn't bring in as many crowds as they expected.
That is why I told in beginning that it will be impossible to change your situation, and everyone understanding. So Georgians know what is the war, and we never will be used against Russia. We understanding very good. And second is that some of West want to be a war in Georgia. Not only so the one choice is if we will be against of Russia, but another is to make situation difficulties in Georgia, to stop for some time, BRICS project, because of we are one of the main point in this project. This one of another way, both of them is acceptable for them.
Now, moving on to the geopolitics of the situation. Basically, as you said, Georgia may be a small country, but geopolitically an important one. And NATO in particular, the United States and the European Union, as you pointed out, want to use Georgia against Russia. They tried their luck under President Saakashvili, and they seem to want the same thing these days. Do you think that they wanted Georgia to open a second front against Russia as the war in Ukraine broke out?
Yes, but this plan was old one, and I'm talking about second plan, because of no one can imagine that Georgia can do something against of Russia. It's ununderstandable. It's very difficult. But to burn a fire in Georgia, in Caucasus, it will change situation for BRICS. This is second plan. That is why if one does not working, another way is acceptable. That's why they are pushing. They want to be here many protests, maybe something like this to change here, or somehow make your civilian war. It's also acceptable for them.
You mean Georgia wants to join BRICS these days, and then they want to mess up with that project?
Of course, all of Georgians understanding that this is the best way to make Georgia strong, and yeah, because of all these big members of BRICS, they will protect Georgia because of their business will work here, and all of them will protect Georgia for their business first. And also we will have possibility to be more, I would say, we will find more freedom. Less will be pushing for Europe or from any other countries, and our sovereignty will be not fully sovereignty, but it will be much more better than will be in situation if we will become member of European Union. This is two different situations.
Plus, I would think that although the European Union countries or the major countries of the European Union talk about Georgia's accession to the European Union, but I don't think they are ever seriously considering that. You know, it seems to be like a bite, you know, to like a carrot to basically give it to Georgia, to basically bring or to keep Georgia on an anti-Russian path. But that doesn't seem to be working these days, because the Georgian people have basically walked away from that proposition, gradually having seen that this anti-Russian path would be too dangerous for Georgia's sovereignty, Georgia's security, plus the European Union membership doesn't seem to be a serious proposal. It seems to be just a way of playing with Georgia by the European Union.
Absolutely right. I agree, because of they don't want to lose Georgia. Yeah, they are pushing that. They are trying to do best for them, not for Georgia, but the way for them. But they never want to lose Georgia, and I think they need Georgia more than we need European Union. This I can say absolutely. How this it's already absolutely understandable. They are very interested in Georgia, and that is why I think for us much more better to be stronger and not become member of European Union. Yeah, maybe it will be difficult, but we have to stay in Caucasus and be member of 3+3 and BRICS. This is right way.
Okay, let's talk briefly about Georgia's regional relationship. You know, I understand, I keep following it. Georgia is on best possible terms with Azerbaijan. It has very good relations with Turkey. It has had actually for decades since Georgia's independence. And at the same time, Georgia has established a good relationship with Armenia too. And all this, I think, as you pointed out, seems to augur well for Georgia's future, because Georgia would be an excellent partner in this 3+3 economic and trading cooperation proposal by Azerbaijan, Turkey, and Russia, all basically support the proposal. What do you say about Georgia's place and Georgia, the benefits that would accrue from that for Georgia?
I think it's many things depends on Georgia. That is why for a region, we have to be become members of 3+3, and that's why I'm talking about BRICS. This is the right way, and Armenia accepting this way also, and Azerbaijan, and of course this is very important. How looking your future position, your neighbors, and it's also very good for Russia. So it's, I think south, west, east, and north and south ways, which crossing through the Georgia is this is very important point for this project, and we can understand it. We're understanding this way, which is best now, and I think only a young generation for it's very difficult to understand this situation because of 30 years they are hearing that European Union, this is our best choice, we are going in European Union, and these 30 years changed their mind, and now it's very difficult how this show them this another way, which is which comes after Ukrainian war, because of BRICS project was a long time ago, but this project now start very cool movements, and Ukrainian war opened for another countries become of their interest to become members of this BRICS project, and that is why this for future will be changed domination of United States in our region, and I think everyone wants to change domination of United States economy and policy domination in our region. That is why I think all of these governments understanding how is important to become members of BRICS, and we saw this picture, yeah, in 22 of this month. How many governments was gathering together around of the BRICS project.
Good. But would you also like to say a few things about Georgia's relations with Turkey?
Yes, we have absolutely normal relations with Turkey. We are neighbors, and we have good economy relations. And I think this also very important for Turkey, to Georgia be not a member of Europe, to be member of 3+3 and member of BRICS.
Mm-hmm.
So every Turkish people understanding how important will be, where will be Georgia, because of if we are talking about BRICS and 3+3, I think it's not difficult to see difference of these two ways. In situation if Georgia will become a member of European Union, so power of United States and Europe in Georgia will be very big one, which not will be maybe like so good for Turkey, also for Azerbaijan, Armenia, and other countries of BRICS. And I think everyone understanding how is important to push out domination of United States on our side, in our region, but we can work with them, but without any pushing, without any how this domination in our region. That is why I think everyone already understanding. Maybe it was difficult to understand nicely what happening on the world 10, 15 years ago, but now it's opened. Everyone can see which countries where and which way they are going, and for which country is a better way for future to change their geopolicy and change their economy mind and the policy mind in future. I mean, after 2 or 3 years, here will be absolutely different situation, and everyone can understand one situation and compare it with another one. It's absolutely understandable for everyone.
One last point, maybe you would like to comment on, although you have touched upon. It is about Georgia's admission to NATO. NATO countries and the United States occasionally talk about it. And technically speaking, Georgia has made its application to NATO membership. But you said, as you were touching upon the NATO business, that was something totally hypothetical and it wasn't realistic at all. Do you think that NATO agenda will come back to Georgia one way or the other? Because in the past, you know, the Georgian politicians appear to be very, very willing to go along with NATO membership. But, you know, we could have told them in Turkey that it wasn't going to happen. And it was a very dangerous project. It would certainly damage Georgia's territorial integrity, like in the case of Ukraine and all that, you know. But how is this situation in that sense among the politicians, among the elite and the general public?
You know, this is, I think, biggest mistake of Georgia. NATO is biggest mistake of Georgia. It was some like dream, and now we see what happened with Ukraine, and no one was thinking that what will be reaction of Russia about NATO. I can understand why Turkey is member of NATO, but how Georgia become member of NATO, it never was understandable for me, for example. It was absolutely impossible, but no one wanted to understand this. And mainly young generation, oh, NATO, Europe, and so on. And now, after this war in Ukraine, it's very easy to see real picture, what's happening in region, when you are going against of logic, against of specific of geopolitical situation, against of big countries which making policy on all over the world. Turkey is a strong country. Russia, same. Iran, we know. India, China, and for all of them, absolutely unacceptable domination, United States and England in our region. But why Turkey become member of NATO? It's absolutely understandable for me, but ununderstandable for Georgians and Ukrainians. Same. We see picture in Ukraine. Same will be with Georgia.
Well, Turkey became a member of NATO in the heat of the Cold War, so it was a completely different situation. There was Stalin in the Soviet Union. Stalin kept making demands of Turkey, so it was a completely different. Plus, Turkey managed after Stalin's death and, you know, after what's his name, Khrushchev's takeover of the Soviet Union, Turkey managed very good relations with the Soviet Union, even during the Cold War, for about nearly 20 years or so. So it's quite an experienced country, both with regard to NATO, both also with regard to Moscow and how you basically, how shall I say, keep a balance, if you like, between all these important players. Professor Maisuradze, thank you very much. Do you have any other comment you would like to make?
No, thank you very much. I'm glad for your time, and I'm glad to discuss about Georgia and the situation in our region because of we are neighbors. We have to keep in our mind that what we are doing is touching everyone around us, and think if someone thinking about only himself, this is not right way. And we have to think Turkey, Georgia, Armenia, Azerbaijan, and the neighbor countries have to be friendly with each other because of our strongness depends on it. This time long ago, with the different mind, with the different, I would say, how this aims, understandable because of history is a difficult thing. But now we have to be very, very friendly. On it depends how will be future of our population, Turkish, Georgians, Armenians, and so on. I think we have to understand this, and everyone have to keep in his mind, here not only me, here is my neighbors, and what I am doing, and how it pushing or making comfort or discomfort situation with my neighbors. And I think we are understanding already this. Sometimes when two sides fighting, after that they become friendship. This friendship is much more stronger than was it before.
Okay, Professor Maisuradze, thank you very much for joining our program today. And we hope we will be able to see you on our program maybe in future. And we wish you and the Georgian people all the best.
We too. We wish Turkish people all the best.
Okay, bye-bye for now. Thank you.
Bye-bye. Thank you very much.